Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in with me today. Just wanted to quickly understand, can you see me and hear me? Are you able to see me and hear me before I can get started? Let's see. Yes, you should be able to hear me. Hello, everyone. Yes, looks like the volume is clear. And yes, very, very happy and excited to be back here. And even more excited that today's YouTube live started without any challenges. So all of you who have been with us for the last, this is our 4th week of running our YouTube live, and I'll be coming back every Thursday back to you with, topics which matter in terms of health and fitness. I'll be back here. Okay, so today's session is about heart risk, danger of heart attack, which is lurking in the dark, ready to pounce upon us. And oftentimes there are indicators that we can of a failing heart, of a failing health, but many a times we tend to ignore as well. So I'm going to cover all of that. And the reason why this is very close to my heart is that every health topic is close to my heart, but this one especially because, when it comes, and it is becoming so common and prevalent in India right now, is especially in the urban population with lifestyle changes, high levels of stress and anxiety in our lives, that once it comes, the person who has to go through the pain goes through the pain, but who they leave behind, their family members, their children, to deal with this trauma, the shock, the tragedy, is something that nobody should go through, right? So one is, it's important for us, and second, it's important for the people that we are going to leave behind. So taking all of that into consideration, today's session is not just for you. Today's session is also for those people who mean a lot to you. Okay, so with that, we'll get started on. I'll try to cover as much as possible, and like I do all the time. And then I'm also going to share with you some actionable steps that you can take right out of this session. Okay, and we are going to be here for 30 minutes. We are going to be here for 30 minutes, and I will, at the end, once I finish my, whatever I have to say, I'll take a lot of your questions. Okay, so with that, and who am I? Before I get started, I am Ruma. I am an internationally certified fitness trainer, nutritionist, a women's fitness specialist, and specialist in exercise therapy from International Sports and Sciences Academy USA and National Academy of Sports Medicines USA. Very recently, I was recognized by the Government of India, awarded by Times of India and Economic Times for my work in the area of health and fitness. What do we do? We are an organization called Navitai. I am the head coach and the founder of Navitai, and we work with people across the world, and we help them get healthier and fitter, so that they can start experiencing life in a different dimension altogether. So that is what we do. We serve more than 4,000 people across the world, and every day we bring happiness and life back into somebody's life. Yeah, and we are impacting their families as well. So we are very proud and happy to do what we are doing, and thanks once again for joining us here. So let's get started. So what is cardiovascular diseases? Anything with the heart and the blood vessels which is running all over our body are cardiovascular diseases. And whenever there is an obstruction in this, and there are different kinds of cardiovascular diseases: arrhythmia, stroke, then building up of plaque, the arteries narrowing, all of these, bradycardia, all of these are heart conditions. Now, one of the major ones which can cause a sudden impact in our life is heart attack. And whenever the arteries of our heart starts to narrow because of the plaque buildup in the arteries, they are becoming narrower, so it becomes more and more difficult for our heart to pump blood to rest of the body. That leads to heart attack. So how it is prevalent. It's prevalent very nowadays. We've seen that. First, we used to think that heart attack is a disease of the old people, but now we are seeing between the ages of 35 and 55, men and women both are at risk. Before the ages of 55, before a woman hits menopause, it's probably men who have a higher risk of heart disease. But after menopause, it equalizes, and women probably get into a chance of higher risk of heart attack. And I'll come to that later, how a woman's body is different from a man's body and how a woman should take care of herself after menopause. But the prevalence is only increasing. And now more and more in the urban India, with work pressure, pressure of responsibilities, high levels of stress, lifestyle conditions which are not conducive to have good health, that is a leading cause of heart diseases in India. So then the next one that I wanted to, so once we understand that, so two things that we need to be very careful about is our blood pressure. Is the blood pressure in normal? So I'll cover the diagnostic tests also that you need to do, and the preventive measures also that you can take in order to reduce the risk of all of these. So one is blood pressure to monitor, and another one is high cholesterol. So these two are few of the leading factors in any of the heart diseases. So please start monitoring them. And another one, to know whether you have a very healthy heart, is resting heart rate and HRV, heart rate variability. So we will get into that also. So I'm going to cover all of that, diagnostic tests as well. Let me first cover what are we covering? Yes, so we covered yes, we covered prevalence, we covered resting heart rate. All right, wonderful. Now, some of the risk factors, okay? Risk factors are our lifestyle, stress, what can lead to heart diseases, either blood pressure, cholesterol, obesity. All of these can lead to our indicators, our leading indicators of a heart attack or a heart disease. So some of the conditions that lead to these factors are, one is age. As we are aging, below the age of 35, we hardly hear people getting heart attack, but 35 onwards becoming very, very prevalent now. And men more at risk than women, but after menopause, women probably get onto the other side. Age, gender, age, gender, ethnicity, and fourth one is if you already had somebody in your family who has some cardiovascular diseases, then genetically you are more predisposed to have cardiovascular diseases. So if you have anyone in your family who had heart attack, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, please go and start testing yourself. After the age of 35, it becomes very, very important for us. Number one is annual health test. If you are not already doing that, January is coming. Please, in fact, in my family, I push everyone to get it done in the month of December itself. And in our community also, I push everyone to complete it in the month of December. So when we start the new year, we start with knowing what are the things that we want to work upon, right? If we do not know what we are fighting, we will not be able to, then we will not know how to go about it, right? So we need to know the demons that we are fighting, and the demons come out through blood tests. So please, if you can get it done, and through different, through your travels, through the vacation time that you've taken end of the year, if you get time, get it done. Otherwise, first thing in the year, please go gift yourself an annual health test, which should include, if you're above the age of 35, and if you have any of these risk factors where somebody in your family had cholesterol, blood pressure, has gone through heart attack, arrhythmia, any of that, then please get your heart also tested. Okay. The next, so these are the things that can lead to heart diseases. And now let's talk about the screening. What are the tests that you can do in order to identify how to, whether you are at a risk of heart disease or not? So when you get your annual test done, please do the following one. Number one is a cholesterol, the full lipid profile. Number two is blood pressure. Number three, your waist and hip ratio. It is an indicator of the amazing amount of pressure that we are putting on our heart. If you have visceral fat, or you have a bigger belly and than your waist, if your waist hip ratio is beyond 0.8, then you are at a risk of heart disease. So please mark these these three top. Number four is what is your body fat percentage? In a woman, after the in a woman before menopause. 25 is a good body fat percentage to have. Remember, I'm not talking about weight. Weight does not mean anything, because the weight of our body is a combination of weight of our organs, um, skeleton, bones, muscles, weight of water, all of that combined together to and the weight of the fat as well. All of this combined to give us the weight that we have. So please measure your body fat percentage, because you need everything else. The only thing we do not need is the body fat percentage, which is which is one of the driving causes, not driving causes, but one of the risk indicators of our heart diseases as well. So please measure your body fat percentage. Don't be fixated just on weight. Measure your body fat percentage, measure your visceral fat as well. The next one is, when you go for your annual health test, please check with your doctor if you should go through ECG and you should go through echo. So check with your doctor, TMT, ECG, echo, if you should go through that. And fourth one is calcium buildup in your arteries. So these are the holistic set of screening or diagnostic tests that you can do in order to identify whether you have, where you are, what is your heart condition. Now, this happens annually. Okay, let me share with you 5 things that you can do on a regular basis, on a monthly basis, to see if your heart condition is good or not. So the number one thing that the number one thing that we do in our community, and this is a monthly check that all of us does, is, and we have an app where, okay, I'll come to that later, but so first one is your resting heart rate. Okay, so resting heart rate is your heart, the number of beats per minute the heart will beat, the heartbeats. Okay, so now just think of this as your heart. Heart is an organ which pumps, and it pumps blood to rest of the other organs, tissues, cells in our body. And with this blood, this is the pumping heart, and with this blood it is sending nutrients, oxygen, enzymes, coenzymes, hormones, all of these things to the last cell of our body. And and now just think, okay, so what is a good heart rate? A good heart rate, if you go to a doctor, they will say anywhere between 60 and 100. They will check your pulse, and if you get it between 60 and 100, then they will say you are fine, you go home. Now, who does a doctor test? Who does a doctor address? Doctor caters to patients. So now I'm going to tell you something which is not, so the resting heart rate or heart rate of a person who is a patient between 60 and 100 is fine. But if you do not want to become a patient, and if you want to be a healthy and a fit person, your resting heart rate should be between 50 and 55. That is an indicator of good heart. So now the question is, why should a heart pump lesser to be fitter? Think about this. If you have this is a metaphor that I use. If you have a car and you are driving it at 100 kilometers per hour throughout the day, from morning till night, without giving it a break, that is your situation number one. And another scenario is, the same car, you drive 100 kilometers an hour, but after every 1 hour, you give it a break. Which car will survive you more versus which car will break down faster? The first one, which it's just running and giving you no break, no rest at all, that car will break down faster, right? Similarly, your heart also, which is pumping without any rest, is also a heart that breaks down faster. So any heart which is beating lesser number of times per minute is a healthier heart. And when it's so how this happens, it squeezes. It is so powerful. The heart is so powerful, so fit, that it squeezes once and it is able to send all the nutrients, all the oxygen, everything that your body needs in one go. And hence it can now rest and relax. Instead of that, if your body's demand is more than what the heart is pumping, the heart has to pump more faster, which leads to finally heart failure, right? So a fit heart beats lesser number of time, and you can test it all the time. I'll help you test it right now with me. Okay, so if you are with me, let me see how many of you are here with me. If you are here with me and ready to test your how healthy your heart is, you can tell me hi here. Yeah, can you tell me hi? Hello. Then we can test this together. Do you? Yeah, can you? All right, so let's get started with this, okay? This is an interesting activity, and you will know right here whether your heart is a healthy heart. Take your left hand up like this. Take the right two fingers and start from here and trace this path all the way down to your wrist. And this is where you will find your pulse. Okay. If you find your pulse, then please grab it and do not let it go. But if you don't find it, say for example, some people have a lot of fat accumulation in their wrist, they'll not be able to find it very easily. So do not press too hard, but do not let it too light also. It should be a little firm. Okay. If you don't find it here, then take your two fingers and put it right underneath your right jaw here. And you will find your, you will sense the beats here. So hold it and start counting the number of beats when I say start, and stop counting when I say stop. Okay, let's do this together. This is an interesting activity. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Start counting. And stop. Whatever number you got, now multiply that by 2. Whatever number you got. You got 30 multiplied by 2, you will get 60. You got 45, multiply that by 2, you will get 90. Whatever number you got, now just multiply that by 2 and you will get the final number. And that is your beats per minute. If it is anywhere between 60 and 100, you will be considered a healthy patient. But if you want to be a fit person, which is the standard that we follow in our programs, it has to be between 50 and 55. Okay, so this is your resting heart rate, and do this first thing in the morning. You can also use a wearable device, okay, which will give you the resting heart rate in the morning. You can do that, and you can connect that with your mobile phone and any app that tracks it, and you will be able to track how your resting heart rate is improving over time or declining over time. We have an app that we use for our members where they are able to connect their wearable device to the app, and we can track their progress as well with the resting heart rate. The next one is HRV, heart rate variability. Now you saw that, you got about say 60 beats in a minute. Now the duration between each beat is very different. Duration between each beat is, it's not the same. Sometimes it is less, sometimes it is. So the heart goes like this: bum, 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 bum. Yeah, so it goes like this. So the duration between two beats are always different, and this variability is known as heart rate variability. Whenever the heart rate variability, and this heart rate variability is of deep importance because we have an autonomic nervous system. Without going into too many details of that, there is this part of our body which functions without our direction, where we do not tell it to function. For example, we are not dictating our heart to beat, right? Neither are we dictating our digestive system to work. Neither are we dictating our excretory system to work. It has its own pattern and it works on its own, and that is called the autonomic nervous system. It functions on its own without our direct intervention. And the autonomic nervous system has is controlled by two parts. There are two parts of the autonomic nervous system. One is the parasympathetic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system. And these two nervous system, the interaction between these two nervous system dictates the variability of our heart. The duration that will be between two heartbeats. And the higher the variability, better is our heart accustomed to deal with different kind of situations that occurs in our day-to-day life. Our life is always not a stable life, right? Sometimes there are stressful situations, sometimes there are stressful moments, you have to get ready for the office, and you are getting late. So these are like micro stresses. These are not huge stresses, but these are micro stresses, and these kind of define the heart rate variable. They do not define the heart rate variability, but a heart rate variability defines how we will be able to cope up with the daily stresses of life. So higher the heart rate variability, better is our heart condition. Okay, so so these two things you can do all the your at home. And to check heart rate variability, there are certain apps, mobile apps. One is Veltori app. You can download that and you can check your heart rate variability. The third one is checking your visceral fat. This is something you should do every month. How much is your visceral fat? Visceral fat above 5 is a danger zone. And visceral fat is the fat that accumulates here. Okay. And people have belly fat also, which is a little lower, but that has an aesthetic, impact. But the visceral fat has an impact on our health, every function that runs. So check your visceral fat. It should be 5 or below. That is a good visceral fat number to have. If you have higher, then you have to bring it down. And what you need to do in order to bring your visceral fat down, resting heart rate down, increase your HRV, I'll be sharing that with you. So the fourth one is body fat percentage. This is something that you should be tracking all the time. If you are a woman if you are someone who is still getting your periods, then your body fat percentage should be between 24 and 25. If you're someone who has attained menopause, it can be below 24. If you are someone, if you are a man, then you can, 20 to 25 is a good number to have. 25 is probably a little higher for men, but 20 is a good number to carry for men. Okay, so this is the body fat percentage you should be looking at, not just your weight, because weight is a combination of your fat, your muscle, your bones, your organ, and your water weight. Body fat percentage is the inflammatory marker in our body, which can lead to not just heart diseases, but other kind of difficult conditions as well. So these are the 4 things that you can track. The fifth one that I would want you to track, and that is that I'll come to later. But these are the 4 things that you can track every month. And there are certain underlying things, underlying lifestyle changes you can bring in order to improve all of these numbers. So let me recap once more the screening test that you should do. Number 1 is your annual health test. The annual health test should include blood pressure, lipid profile, complete lipid profile. Number 3 is ECG, echo, and TMT. Just check with your doctor before you decide on that. So before doing your annual test, you should meet with your doctor to understand which other tests you should do. So this was the third one. Every month at home, you should check your resting heart rate, HRV, visceral fat, and body fat percentage. Okay, these are the 4 primary indicators. And of course, your hip to waist ratio, it should be less than 0.8. 0.8 or lesser is better. Anywhere 0.8 and above is an indicator of pressure on your heart. Okay, so these are the ones that we should do. Now, say for example, all of these numbers are out of track. So the number 1 thing that I would want to do with you is say congratulations that you have it out of track, but you're listening to it at the right time. So now you can start working on reversing it. Nothing, you are still alive, healthy, live here. That is a very, very good thing. And just follow the next set of instructions. So number 1 change that we need to bring to our life is sleep. Okay, sleep 7 to 8 hours minimum. And if you're someone who is finding it difficult to fall asleep, and you do not get enough time, or you go to bed, you do not get, it becomes, there are a lot of thoughts in your mind and you're not able to fall asleep. Very typical in women, women who are approaching menopause, through menopause or post-menopause, sleep becomes a huge issue in women. So due to any hormonal imbalances, it can happen. Men who have a lot of work pressure, anxiety, going through depression, they find it difficult to fall asleep as well. So we will have to find out the underlying conditions because of which you're not able to sleep. If it is hormonal imbalances in women, we will be able to help you. If you have psychological issues, it's a psychiatry issue, then please meet with your doctor so that they can resolve it and you can start feeling better. I would also like to let you know there's a good news that you do not need sleeping pills to fall asleep. You do not need melatonin to fall asleep. Simple changes in our lifestyle can help us fall asleep very well. The number 1 thing that I teach in my community, so we are talking about sleep, okay? Number one thing that I teach in my community for women, for men and women to fall asleep well, is coherent breathing pattern. So coherent breathing pattern is a breathing pattern which has been publicized by the Heart Math Institute. They have done a deep research in the field of heart, how it beats, and the electromagnetic field that it creates. And this electromagnetic field can be felt up to 3 meters from. So heart, when it beats, creates a electromagnetic zone around us, and this is up to 3 meters and can be felt up to there with devices. Okay, so heart is a very, very strong organ, and if we can tame it, we can tame our heart attack also. So this is a breathing pattern that helps, which is called the coherent breathing pattern. So you breathe in for 5 counts and breathe out for 5 counts. So do this with me, please. As I say breathe in, I'll show you 5 counts here. And when I say breathe out, I'll show you 5 counts, and you start breathing in. Breathe in should be through your nose. Breathe out also should be through your nose. Okay, so relax your body. Do this with me. Breathe in. Breathe out. Once more, breathe in. Breathe out. So this helps you to get into, get your heartbeat to calm down, and it also starts to get your brain into an alpha state. There are multiple brain states. I'll cover that later, but it takes your brain to a level where the lot of jig 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 happens in our head oftentimes, right? So that jig 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 will go away. That is called the alpha state of mind, where your mind is rested and your heartbeat has calmed down, which is a great space to be in. And so this, practice this during sleep, and there are other things also. I will not bore you to death with that, but just start practicing this one thing. So sleep is the fundamental and the most important thing that we need to work upon if we have to get good health. Leave diet, leave exercise. If you're not sleeping well, nothing will work for you. So sleep is the topmost priority. If sleep is not, so I say to my members, I say this way, okay? If you cannot eat good food, fine. If you cannot exercise, fine. But if you cannot sleep, it is not fine. Because all the other work that we do, giving you good food to eat, exercises to do, will not matter if you do not sleep well. So we have a lot of focus on helping people improve their sleep as well. And we are seeing great progress in people who are following these methodology and now able to sleep well. While sleeping well, they are able to overcome their health issues, hormonal challenges in women, and they have started to become much more calm, confident in different kind of life situations as well. Okay, so number one is sleep. Number two is management of stress. Oftentimes, with the urban responsibilities, working, office responsibility, home responsibility, and I do not know how many of you here joining are from Bangalore. Traffic is a major cause of stress, yeah. And now all the offices are opening up and people have to go to work, and this is causing a lot, go to office to work, and this is causing a lot of stress and tension among people. Yeah, people are losing, getting angry, irritable, and all of that. So stress, managing your stress is very, very important. And if we can manage our stress, we can manage our heartbeat also. When we are stressed, our heart beats much, 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 much faster. So we have to calm it down. And how we can do that? What I teach in our community, in our members, is mindfulness. Early morning, start your day with 5 minutes, at least 5 to 10 minutes of meditation. Meditation doesn't have to be an exotic meditation. You just sit in one place, close your eyes, relax your body, and just do the coherent breathing pattern. And right after that, just devise a plan for the day. What is it that you wish to accomplish for today? Have 2 to 3 things on your list, not a whole lot of laundry list, but 2 to 3 things that will give you amazing amount of fulfillment. Just remember one thing, with stress management, this is one thing that we have to remember, that we are not robots. We do not have 20 hands where we can do driving also, and take meetings also, and talk to our family members also, and take care of our household also. We do not have 20 hands, and we are human beings. So trying to do too many things are often causing a lot of stress. If we can do 2 things which gives us a lot of fulfillment and makes us feel productive, that is great. That is great. We are not going to run after, ticking off lot of, 20 things in our list item. So that will help us bring our stress down. Morning mindfulness, 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, and then chalking out a plan for the day. So this is number 2. Number 3, if these 2 are in place, then the 3 and 4 will start working for you. Number 3 is food. What is the food that you're eating? It has to be an anti-inflammatory diet. Okay, whenever in heart attack comes, any cardiovascular diseases happens because that the inflammatory marker in your body is high. That is why you have heart issues. So how do you reduce the inflammatory marker in your body is by having anti-inflammatory diet. Anti-inflammatory diet is very simple. Please do not follow any strict diet plans, beach diet, this diet, intermittent fasting, that fast. Please, we do not need all of that native. We need to eat good food, plenty of food, rich in micronutrients and rich in micronutrients. That is what we need to eat. And we have to remove all the food that are inflammatory in nature. So what are anti-inflammatory food? Anti-inflammatory food are whole food and grains. That's it, whole food and grains. So the regular chapati, sabji, dal that we make at home with less oil content, more steamed and steamed, baked or boiled, not overcooked food. These are anti-inflammatory. Lots of fruits and vegetables in our diet. Adding protein in our diet, chicken, fish, egg, paneer, tofu. These things work. Dal. So a regular meal pattern that we follow in our community, Navita members follow: 1 chapati, 1 sabji, 1 dal, 1 bowl of curd, 1 bowl of salad, and 1 protein along with that. Chicken, fish, egg, paneer, and tofu. So it's as simple as that. 1 chapati, 1 sabji, 1 dal, chicken, fish, tofu, paneer, 1 cup of salad, and 1 curd. Now you may be thinking, we eat so much. Yes, we eat so much, and that is why we are healthy. You cannot become healthy by eating less. We have to eat lesser of what causes inflammation in our body and more of what helps our body to thrive. So this is regarding your food. It's very simple, and you can follow this no matter where you are, whether you're at office, whether you're at home, whether you're traveling abroad. You will get a grain, you will get sabji, you will get dal, you will get beans, you will get chicken, fish, egg, cottage cheese. All of that you get when you're traveling abroad also. And this is something that our members adopt very easily, and they are healthier even when they are traveling. Even during their vacation, they're able to eat healthy because we do not believe in a strict diet plan. We believe in having anti-inflammatory food, and they choose from the list of anti-inflammatory food wherever they. The 4th one is exercise. Okay, exercise at least 30 to 40 minutes every single day, 6 days a week with 1 day of break. This is called moderate exercise, and this is the guideline by WHO, World Health Organization as well. 150 minutes of exercises, moderate exercises per week. 150 minutes, that's it. You don't have to spend 1 hour, 1.5 hours in the gym. No. Do it at home. Beat the traffic. You don't have to worry about traffic. Use your body weight to do exercises at home. That is something that we do in a busy lifestyle. Going to the gym, waiting for the trainer gets sick, I miss my slot. Don't want any of that tension. Already life is so much stress. So why take unnecessary stress? Use my body, be at home, and this body goes everywhere with me, whether I'm traveling, whether I'm at home, whether I'm in a wedding, whether I'm in a birthday party, wherever I am, this body is there with me. So why not I use my body as a dumbbell to do my exercises? And you can do this in the privacy, comfort, and safety of your home as well, and nothing will come in the way. So exercising, strength exercises and cardiovascular exercises are very, very important. 3 days of strength exercises and 3 days of cardiovascular exercises, and in between you can add your yogas. You can add yoga as well, which helps you to build mobility and flexibility as well. So these are the 4 ways in which, so stress, sleep, your food, and your exercises. These are the 4 things if you do. And then just remember that next year when you go, do your health test, get your blood tests done, get your blood pressure, complete lipid profile, ECG, echo, TMT, if your doctor says, get all of that done, and we will know what your heart risks are. And monthly test your resting heart rate variability, body fat percentage, visceral fat, And what did I miss? 45% visceral fat. Yes, that will tell you. Okay, so do these and see how your heart starts to improve. You start getting a good heart also. And if you found this content valuable, please subscribe so that you do not miss out on all the important things that I'm going to come back to you, which is going to impact your life. And biggest thing is share it with your family and friends. The biggest service that you can do is share health with anybody else. Everybody needs it. So many people are suffering, and this content is free for you. So just keep sharing to as many people as you want. This will be your service back to the community. Okay, and I am ready to take your questions. I'm at the end of today's session. I'm ready to take your questions. So let's see. All right. Any questions, you can put it in the comment box and I'll be ready. I'll be happy to answer it for you. And quickly, if you can find the subscribe button to our to this session, to our YouTube channel, quickly subscribe. And if you have any questions, let me know, please. Hello, Aisha. How can I help you today? Do you have any question that I can help you with? Aisha is saying she finds it difficult to sleep without medication. So, Aisha, one of the things that and another thing that you can do, Aisha, is very soon I'll be coming back with how to improve your sleep. And in fact, if you go into our YouTube live or in the YouTube content, then you will see that there is a video on how to improve your sleep. Okay, and there is a blog post also on our website, and I think I had posted it in our community group as well. So you can look at that. Simple steps to improve our sleep. So one of the things, first start with, and if you are used to medication, then it will not go away very quickly. It takes some time to fall into that lifestyle and that pattern, and then you fall asleep. First thing that I want you to start with is understanding why you're not able to fall asleep. Is there a lot of, what is the root cause of not falling asleep? Is that because you have a lot of stress, anxiety, conditions you're not able to manage in your life? Is that what it is? Circumstances around you, or are you going through hormonal imbalances because of which you're finding it difficult to sleep? So depending on what the root cause of not falling asleep is, the methodology or the strategy will be different. Okay, so if you're someone who is not able to, there are difficult situations around you, then and that is why you have a high level of stress, and high level of stress is leading to your inability to sleep. Then what you need to do is follow stress management techniques, mindfulness, join the dream morning practices that we do, where we do meditation and intention setting, journaling for the day. So join that and follow the stress management routines that I share with you. Follow that. And second is, and if that is not the cause, you're just going through hormonal imbalances, approaching menopause, and that is why you're not able to sleep, then just follow this routine. This is for those women who are going through approaching menopause. So number one is start with coherent breathing. 5 breath in and 5 breath out. So start with that before you fall asleep. Second is, okay, that is the last thing that you do before you go to bed. First thing is, before your bedtime, exactly 1.5 hours before that, switch off all the lights around you. All the lights around you, okay? And have very dim light in the house. So that is number one. So that instructs our brain that now you have to start slowing down. So your brain starts to unwind. It's a cue to our brain. So brain starts to unwind, it sends signal to rest of the body to start unwinding as well. That is number one. Number two is participate in some kind of a relaxation ritual before you go to bed. It can be a warm bath, yeah, a very lukewarm bath, just freshen up. And that little, it should lukewarm in the sense that it is not cold, the water is not cold, you do not want very hot water in the night, because it can, wake you up once again. So you want little cold water, which is not too cold also. It's comfortable on the skin. When you do that, it starts relaxing your body. And after that, have some peaceful. The third one is have something peaceful to do, either reading a book or listening to a soothing music, or patting your pet, hugging your kids, hugging your child. So anything that soothes you, relaxes you, and gives you a lot of pleasure inside of you. It calms you down. So that is number three. And then before going to bed, as you go to bed, you take in deep breaths, like I just showed through the session. Do a heart coherent breathing, and then you practice this over a few days, and you start seeing the difference. Within 7 days, it will start. You will start sleeping better. If you are someone who is having sleep issues because of perimenopause, menopause, or postmenopause, this helps. But if the underlying situation itself is stress, then this may or may not help. We have to first fix the root cause. That is the reason for your stress and how you can deal with stress. Okay, hope this helps, Aisha, and all the best way. I hope you can start living off of medicine. Let's see if we have some more questions coming in. All right. So that was Aisha's question only. So wonderful. Thank you so much. And if you found this content valuable, please do not forget to share it with your family members and friends as well. Everybody needs it. And I will see you not next week, but in the first week of January, I'll be back with more content, which will help you become healthier and happier. Until then, see you. Take care. Bye-bye.